Hi, welcome to the Greatest Pod Classic, where you are going to get to hear people's nerd greatest of all time from the Classic Pod. If you like what we're doing, mash that subscribe button and click like too. Hey, leave a comment too. Tell us your opinion about this idea. You can also join our Patreon, patreon.com/thegreatestpod, to get extra podcasts that are more personal and get art sent directly to your house. Again, that's patreon.com/thegreatestpod. Nerd Goat.
The podcast that asks interesting people out of all the characters in all of fiction, who is the nerd goat, the nerd greatest of all time?
I'm Ron Swallow.
And I'm Ed Greer.
And today's guest is...
Kyle Shire. I had to say my name.
Yeah, you have to say your name.
Is that how it goes?
Well, you know,
I'm Kyle Shire.
We passed the ball, baby.
Awesome.
I failed improv.
No. But. So basically, Kyle, if I could run it down for you, Kyle produces one of the best stand-up shows in LA, I think.
Oh,
it's great. It's called Cobra Juice. He has a lot of interesting performers there. Interesting meaning actually really funny.
Oh, thank you.
And he also produces a channel on Machinima called Body Count Fighting.
Yeah.
And what is that?
It's a show that's all about the fighting game community, the FGC. And so we have every week we put out a podcast where we have a pro or a voice actor for a game that we really like, and we interview them, or we have pros coming in and giving tips. Basically all of that leads up to our monthly event where we have we call it like BCF1, BCF2. It's like the UFC because it's like the fighting game community meets the WWE. So we get these big FGC names like Commander Jesse or Alex Valle. They come in and do these show matches, and we just make it as big and fun and
do you have
silly
cut
as
promos
possible.
Like, boy, I'm going to lay the smack down in Injustice 2 on
Basically,
you?
Yeah, there's a lot of shit talking, right?
There's a lot of shit talking, like some of the best shit talking.
When
you'll
we're
ever
playing
see.
Settlers of Catan, I like to call that Catan talk.
Catan talk.
Yeah.
Oh, look at me. I'm the brick baron. Oh, look at me.
But what are the nerd boasts? It's like, will you check these 4-inch diameter thumbs? How they're going to smash these buttons on your bitch ass? It's like,
something like that. I mean, there's a lot of you're just a commentator, like if they're going after each other, stuff like that.
So what's is that that's slang?
Because there are people that that comment on it, and there are people that comment on it and are really good at it, and there are people that are just really good at it but not necessarily good at commentating. And
Yeah, that's like dudes who, when they play poker, they're great at commentating and they have knowledge about poker, but when they actually play, they just lose their asses.
Completely. Like,
Yeah.
I think that I fall into more of the commentator category. Like, I think I'm decent at Injustice. I'm absolutely god-awful abysmal at Street Fighter.
Yeah, me too.
But I am the inter-office champion of Virtual Fighter right now, which makes me
nice.
very happy.
Virtual Fighter used to be my jam.
Virtual Fighter's
I'm one of those old dudes.
Oh,
like,
no,
as
I
soon
get
as
it.
the buttons got too complex, I'm out.
That same thing happened to me too. Although I'm okay at DBZ.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, any of the DBZ ones.
We have
Budokai.
we have a Raspberry emulator at the office, and we put out a segment every Friday called Flashback Fridays, where we basically have pros in and we play a classic fighting game with them, and we played Primal Rage.
Yeah.
Primal Rage was ridiculous.
98 hit combos.
Oh my god, with like apes that like fart on you and stuff. Like, it's so silly. We did Virtual Fighter. We did Clay. Clay Fighters. You ever played that?
No.
I didn't play Clay Fighters.
Clay Fighters. We played Clay Fighters 2, Judgment Clay, because
Is it really called Judgment
it
Clay?
was called Judgment Clay because it came out around the same time.
Look,
as
I love
Terminator
nerds,
2.
but sometimes nerds should not be allowed to name shit.
Honestly, like this, I don't know who was smoking what when they were making this game, because there are backgrounds in this game where there are like it's like a seedy Harlem street corner, but it's just a bunch of big babies, like hooker babies, drug dealer babies, strung out drug addict babies, while these like clay monsters fight each other. It's super strange.
Wow. It reminds me of that they get Pit Fighter right before Mortal Kombat.
Oh yeah.
There's a Pit Fighter and people, oh dude, just to bottom line, games are really violent these days, and now they're and I think it's interesting how in fighting games though they justify how like Superman has to have an actual fight with
Oh, yeah, because in Injustice, yeah. As far as like the Injustice storyline is concerned,
I never could play a Superman game because I remember going to E3, the electronics whatever convention, and
Which
I
is
go
about
down.
to happen.
A few years ago, and I was playing a Superman game, and some common thug came up to my Superman character, and I had to punch him 4 times, and I was like, "Why do I have to punch Leroy 5 times? Why do I have to punch Tyler 5 times to go on to the next level?"
especially as Superman.
As Superman.
Why did Superman just take damage from a guy who hit him with a lead pipe?
Yeah, like what's that about? Is there kryptonite hidden in that pipe? What?
But one thing, we kind of know who your favorite character might be because you're wearing a shirt with her on it.
You guys might not be able to see at home because it's a podcast.
Yeah.
But I'm wearing this awesome shirt that my boyfriend got me for Christmas one year, and it's Emma Frost painted like a Nagel drawing
You're
from
looking
the 80s.
hot.
Thank you. I try.
Yeah, Nagel. If you've never seen a Nagel drawing, if you've been to a hair salon,
A Korean-owned nail salon or hair
Now
salon.
you have.
yeah,
You
you've
have.
definitely seen a Nagel drawing. They're very line based and very wispy.
Yes.
Okay, so why? Okay, how did you get introduced to Emma Frost?
Okay, I started reading X-Men when I was, I'm going to say like around 11 or 12. And I started basically, I was picking up like a lot of Uncanny X-Men that were my friend Sashi's. And I was really into it. And then I kind of went back and started reading some of the classics. And I remember I read up to about Fall of the Mutants. I read up to like the Mutant Massacre when Angel lost his wings, and then you thought Angel was dead. And then I remember the moment when it was revealed that Angel was alive and he was Archangel. Like I remember throwing my comics across the room and going like, I fucking love comics. This is amazing. And up until that point, like Emma Frost was kind of like a villain, sort of like pseudo villain. Like
She worked with the Brotherhood, right?
No. She had kind of like her own thing going on with the Massachusetts Academy. They were kind of like the evil version. They were like the evil rivals of the New Mutants.
Oh wait, she wasn't part of Hellfire Club.
She was part of the Hellfire Club.
She was
introduced by Chris Claremont in the 70s during the Dark Phoenix saga.
Yeah.
When she was the White Queen of the Hellfire Club, and she was trying to get Jean and whatnot. They always got to kidnap Jean Grey
and then make Dark Phoenix come out. Right?
Yeah, got to make the Dark Phoenix come
First
out.
First off, I guess maybe we should say, who is Emma Frost?
All right, Emma Frost is the baddest bitch in the Marvel universe when she's written well.
Okay.
Because for the record, a lot of writers do not write her well, and in my opinion, only 3 really know how to write her.
Yeah, this is the section. This is the section where you will justify why she is your goat.
Yes,
so she is a mutant.
She is a mutant. She is definitely. She's kind of this cool anti-hero. She becomes an anti-hero. She was introduced as a campy villain who had like a bunch of gadget. Like she was a telepath who would always wear these weird like white S&M outfits because Chris Claremont was secretly into some BDSM.
Oh yeah.
I don't know how secret that was.
Well, he was working under all those female editors.
Yeah,
you know what I mean?
Totally.
So it's like they were cracking the whip on him literally and figuratively.
Oh my.
Yeah.
Louise Simonson.
Yeah.
Louise. But like, I think that
I love the idea that Chris Claremont gave his editor a nickname, Wheezy.
Wheezy.
Oh, the Wheezy.
Oh dear. I don't think Walter Simonson would have been too happy. But,
I don't think so either.
well, maybe Walter was into it. I don't know. Maybe he's a
like a William Marston type. It's just
he likes to watch.
Yeah.
He likes. Yeah, Chris, you take it from my wife.
So basically, Emma. When my experience with Emma Frost, when I first saw her, she definitely was like that other telepath character that could mess with Jean Grey, and then. Later on, she got like a secondary mutation where she turned into diamonds.
Yeah,
and stuff.
Grant Morrison reintroduced her because for a while she was a villain of the week. Basically, she had a ray gun that swapped minds with Storm, all this weird stuff, and then through Generation X, she became more of a gray character because she did have students that she cared about deeply, and they all ended up dying, and that affected her a lot. And so she became more of an educator than a supervillain, and then eventually wound up as a teacher on Genosha, which, as X-Men nerds know, is like the mutant. It originally started as a thinly veiled metaphor for South Africa, with mutants as a slave slave class.
caste.
Yeah. And then it was taken over by mutants, and Magneto started running it and stuff, and it became a mutant nation, basically. And Emma was a teacher there, teaching telepaths how to use their powers and whatnot. And Grant Morrison came in to the X-Men universe and like kicked down the door and was like, first issue, I'm destroying Genosha.
Yeah, I mean, I think, he kind of has a tabula rasa type of situation. Like that. This is mine now. I got the mic.
Yeah,
and I'm gonna go out on a limb and guess that Grant Morrison was one of the guys who can write it well, right?
Completely.
Yeah. Since he writes everything well.
Well, that's one thing I wanted to talk to you about. Like right before we get into that, what made you connect with this character? Is it the Grant Morrison run that pushed you over the edge?
I think
into like thinking she's a nerd goat.
It actually, I would probably say it was that, and then because it was Grant Morrison's run was followed up by Joss Whedon, and Joss Whedon, Grant Morrison, and Chris Claremont are the only three writers that know how to write her well. They're the only three writers that get her. Matt Fraction occasionally gets her snark, but other than that, I think those are the three writers that understand her. Chris Claremont because he created her, Joss Whedon because he understands a strong female character, and Grant Morrison because he really understands that kind of I don't know. There's a humanness to her. There's a brazen humanness to her that I think Grant Morrison really connects with, and that's something that I really connected with.
And by humanness, do you mean like her moral flexibility?
Her moral flexibility, the fact that she's a realist. Like X-Men it's a soap opera. It's a superhero soap opera. The best runs of X-Men are always soap opera-y, and Emma really does capture that kind of like Susan Lucci, like sinister but brilliant, like bitch who's like you can tell that she's hiding something with this cool exterior. She's very complex and interesting. She's a perfect counterweight to Jean Grey.
That is interesting. I always felt like Jean Grey was in General Hospital or something, but like Emma Frost was in like Falcon Crest or Dallas
completely.
Or something. You know what I mean? She was in another show. She was in a show where people play by harder rules. They'll mess your shit up if they want to.
A little more of a realist.
Just a little. Oh, completely. Yeah.
So basically, the Grant Morrison run.
So it began. Yeah.
How did you connect with the character? What did he do that made you go like, okay, that's a nerd goat?
I never really connected that much with Jean Grey, and then when she came back after, I believe it was. And she came back during the beginning of X Factor when it was revealed that she wasn't dead the whole time, and like, oh yeah, that other Jean was really the Phoenix the whole time, and blah 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 blah.
Dude, can I say that Marvel needs to stop doing that? Where they're just like, oh, all these wonderful stories.
She was a Skrull. They were all super Skrulls.
We're all super Skrulls.
Got ya.
Captain America's a Hydra agent. Oh my! Punked. You guys were punked. But yeah. So anyway, she gets introduced with Grant Morrison, and he destroys Genosha, but her secondary mutation coincidentally activates right as the Sentinels are attacking Genosha, and she turns into a living organic diamond, which, as a little gay dude, is fucking fabulous. That's a fucking fabulous mutation. Like, she turns into an organic diamond, and she's...
For those of you who don't know, Kyle, he's about 6'5".
I'm a giant, hairy, gay guy. I've been called a supersized Seth Rogen.
You're much better looking than Seth Rogen.
You're sweet. Thank you.
Hey, and you're losing weight too. You're a bear heading towards like what's the other
otter?
Animal?
Yeah,
I don't know if you're
otter. I like that.
Can I?
You mean you can swim really well and do little cute hand things with your hands?
It means that I eat most of my meals on my chest.
I mean, if you're a gay bear, I think a reasonable workout goal would be get down to Wolverine.
Oh, okay.
That's like a bear that's mean. And
Totally.
Can,
and he's kind of weaselly.
Maybe a honey badger because you can take some
honey badger.
Honey badger. Yes, I'm getting to honey badger.
Yeah,
that's my goal weight is honey badger.
I don't give a fuck.
I don't give two fucks. No, that's Mr. Snake. I don't give a fuck.
Did you just bite me? I'm gonna take a nap.
Not bothered.
Hilarious. So basically, Emma Frost mutation kicked in. She was a beautiful diamond. She was a what's that? A little monster.
Well, she describes herself as the perfect Fabergé killing machine. That's one of Grant Morrison's best lines.
Yeah.
She comes out of the rubble of Genosha holding the body of one of her students. Yeah, and so like she's this cold hard bitch that you've known for like 20 years up until that point, and you see this side of her. I mean, the other thing is that her diamond form kind of impacts her emotional state. She becomes very cold, like she doesn't really feel a lot, and she's also immune to telepathy when she's in it, depending upon the writer, I think. But yeah, so she becomes an unofficial member of the X-Men after that because she doesn't really have a place to live, and so she's living at the X mansion and whatnot. And at that point,
so she's an outcast amongst outcasts.
Basically, yeah, because rightfully so, they don't trust her. The first time that you ever met Emma Frost, she kidnaps Kitty Pryde, and that's not a good. You didn't really start off well, Emma.
I vaguely remember that from the X-Men series.
Yes,
the cartoon version,
totally,
which pretty much just did the comic books.
Basically, they did some of the best runs of the comics, I think.
Yeah. Well, I mean, and X-Men are good for that, though, and it's weird that Chris Claremont loves female characters so much, but he puts some of them through so much crap.
Yeah,
like I remember there's this episode where, an issue where Rogue just goes to the X-Men mansion. Something bad happened to her, and she's like, fuck, man, these are the only people I know. So she goes up to the mansion, she opens the door, and Colossus like punches her in the face instantly.
I think I know what you're talking about.
That's terrible.
Well, she was a villain for a while.
I know.
You know.
Just like, but that's a consequence of a remarkably powerful female villain character. You're gonna get punched in the face sometimes.
You're gonna get punched in the
equality.
face. It is, honestly.
Yeah, it really is.
But anyway, so back to why I fucking loved her was, like I said, I never really bonded with Jean as a character. Everyone loved Jean Grey. I love the Phoenix. I think the Phoenix is a fucking amazing mechanic for the Marvel Universe. But Jean Grey as a character, she was always very flat to me. And I just really wasn't vibing with her. But Emma was like the opposite. She was so dynamic, and she always had quips. She always had she was always just drawn so with this great little smirk on her face. I really dug it. And
plus, she was multidimensional. Jean Grey always seemed like she had one dimension, which was I love Scott. I love Logan.
No. But what Grant Morrison tapped into, which was an interesting avenue for Jean Grey, was that because she was the Phoenix, she was basically slowly ascending to being a god. And that completely changes her perspective on humanity, on mutants. Like, she became less and less of a human being. And that is ultimately what Scott Summers wants, is a person. And we all know that Scott Summers has probably one of the most fucked up histories known to man. So of course, when this awesome S&M psychic I don't know, cool bitch comes in, of course he's attracted to her.
Right.
And there's this really cool love triangle that develops where Scott and Emma have this telepathic affair.
I remember that.
Yeah, and it's this awesome metaphor for an emotional affair. Because technically they never had sex. Nothing ever happened. But Jean telepathically discovers one of their liaisons and goes full Dark Phoenix on Emma. And that was the issue where I was like, fuck you, Jean Grey. Emma is my favorite.
Yeah.
Because she storms through Emma's memories and rifles through them, and you get to see all of these personal details of Emma's backstory that she never wanted revealed. But Jean Grey was like, I'm gonna cut you open and tear out all of your secrets. And you find out that she's the daughter of this really rich dude, and she had two sisters, and her father was going to be like, I'm going to decide which of you to give my inheritance to.
Oh, one of those.
Yeah.
The death match with your own kids.
Totally.
Types.
And he chose Emma, and Emma was like, fuck you, I'm out. And she left, and she got a little bit of money. She went to New York, and she used her telepathic abilities to get a spot as a dancer at the Hellfire Club. And even though she couldn't dance, she made everyone think that she could. Yeah. And so that's how she slowly worked her way up. And she was she's just this awesome symbol of fuck you, I'm going to get mine. I don't need your help. I'm an independent bitch.
Yeah, which is the exact opposite of Jean Grey when you really look at the overall history of it. I mean, she's either hanging on Scott's wiener or hanging on Logan's wiener. She's vacillating all the time.
Or trying to destroy the whole universe.
Or trying to destroy the whole universe because it's Dark Phoenix and blah, blah, blah.
She's either fainting on a couch or ruining everything.
Oh, no, Scott, the Phoenix. Oh, I can't.
Yeah.
It's so annoying.
And they still haven't got a handle on it in the movies. I don't want to sidebar too hard, but they don't get how to portray that in the movies, because even in the comics it's kind of hard.
I mean, yeah.
How did you think they did with Emma in the movies?
They've never done her right.
Yeah, in the movies.
Well, first of all, the first one, X-Men Origins Wolverine, she's just some Australian bitch, and she's Silver Fox's sister for some reason.
Yeah, that was weird.
Also, her diamond form, she looks like a disco ball. She wasn't a telepath. She wasn't snarky.
You're like, is this Jubilee? I'm confused.
And then to add insult to injury, they cast January Jones as Emma Frost. Literally, I have at my college we had an interview with Matthew Weiner, that's his name, the showrunner for Mad Men.
Yeah,
and he was basically like, we had to rewrite a lot of the first season because of January Jones's limitations.
Dude, that sounds like the back of a trading card. It's like powers looking super hot and getting cash. Limitations, garbage actress.
Garbage actress.
You can add garbage
is
to
it Tony?
anything and I will laugh harder. You're just fucking garbage.
Isn't it Tony Danza who before when he was on Who's the Boss, his name was something else.
Oh, and he couldn't
he wouldn't respond to anything but Tony because he's so fucking dumb. They're like the same. They're like that's the female version of
that Tony. Yeah, what? It's what the acting. But yeah, January Jones. I don't know. Her acting style is triple wood.
Yeah,
it's
that's
definitely
the worst.
True.
But also to be fair, like if you just look at the script, they weren't really writing Emma to do anything special in that movie.
Yeah. Well, she was a hench person. That's what I did not enjoy.
She is not a henchman.
Yeah, and from my layman's cishet perspective of Emma Frost, I still think she's a bad bitch, and I still think she's definitely no one's henchman.
No. And she's like a top 4 leader.
Oh, completely. Like if she is someone's henchman, and I say that in quotation marks, it's because she's working an angle.
Right.
Yeah.
That's Emma's style, and like I never got that. I never got a hint from that in the movie that she was like trying to work Sebastian Shaw or something. Like
when she's with anybody, you always felt like not like that they were telling her what to do, more like she was like, look, I'll do what I want.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, completely.
And if it helps you out, that's great. Otherwise,
like TTFN, I'm gone. Yeah. Like bye.
what along those lines? What is the absolute most? She would never do that. Why are you doing this? Like moment that you've had with her
in recent comics or in the movies.
I think we touched on the movies. She's a hench person.
Everything's wrong in that one.
Yeah. She's a hench person. She doesn't have very much agency. She doesn't have any quips. It's almost along the lines of how when they first started doing Spider-Man, people were like, "Oh, that's Spider-Man." We're like, I don't know.
That was not Spider-Man.
Spider-Man is quippy because he's trying to distract himself from how scared he is and how out of his depth he almost always is by saying all these jokes.
Yeah, and while at the same time distracting the people he's messing with.
To put more of an even playing field. Right.
Mm-hmm. There's also kind of like a separation that he has with him because his identity is Peter Parker.
Exactly.
You know, like he puts on the suit and I don't know. That's what I like about it.
Yeah.
It's character based. I like it.
Yeah, exactly. So with Emma Frost, part of her mechanism of defending herself, but also distracting you, needling you is all these quips that she would do, and January Jones doesn't do that. No. But like I'm talking about like Emma Frost, like, you know, blows Wolverine in a bathroom for no reason type
completely
of
blows him in the bathroom.
Just like, wait a minute, that doesn't do anything for the story. They just do that.
Not a fanfic one.
I mean, honestly though, like I could see Emma, like if she really wanted to blow Wolverine, I could see her just being like, let's make this happen.
Well, she would work the angle against Scott, like, hey Scott, check this out. You know,
don't you want this?
Yeah. and then Scott's erections.
He's like trying to hide his erection. He's like, no, I don't want it. No.
I'm a Boy Scout.
He is a Boy Scout, but with a dark past.
Dude, I gotta say, Cyclops. If I'm gonna say top 5 dudes in Marvel who you know slang that peen, Scott's up there. Scott's up there with Wolverine and Daredevil. Mm-hmm. Daredevil done banged with Tony Stark.
Oh yeah,
they've banged everybody. They know how to work it. So I mean, Scott's getting all these hot chicks for some reason.
He doesn't want anyone to know though.
Yeah.
Anyone to know.
He's a gentleman.
He's a very big gentleman.
Boring.
I'm trying to think of stuff that Emma's done, because here's the thing. I haven't read a lot of recent X-Men stuff because it makes me sad.
Oh, that's totally excusable. Half the new X-Men stuff to me reeks of like we're just keeping a place right now so that we don't have to do anything major with the characters, so that, you know, if indeed we need to jettison these guys or cancel these books or whatever we can.
Just keep them out.
Yeah. Or just they're in this, I hate to say it, they're in this weird ghetto. Them and the Fantastic Four.
I'm triggered.
They're in a weird ghetto out of the actual regular normal universe.
Yeah.
You know, so that all their stories are sort of self-contained to where they could exist or not.
I also hate it because it just seems like most of the runs now, they've really gotten away from it being a character-based soap opera with superpowers, and it's more like, oh well, who's on the roster? you know, and then it's like, oh, well, what are the splash pages that we can get out of that roster?
It's the positivity and the negativity of getting Disney on board doing something, because their attitude will be who's going to sell the best on these comic books. And sometimes it doesn't matter who sells the best. It's who is the coolest, most interesting character that works the best with this story.
Yeah. I mean, and it's also the licensing thing happened, you know, because Fox has the rights to the X-Men, and it made me sad because did you guys watch Legion?
Yeah.
I really loved Legion, and I thought it was really smart that they only had 2 canon characters. Everybody else was new, and it was just a very nice, slow introduction to the X-Men world, and it had a really great tone that was all its own. And I really think that X-Men just isn't really meant for movies. Like, I just don't
think it would work better for TV.
It would work way better for TV, because if you look at, like, for example, Inferno is probably one of my favorite X-Men events of all time. Obviously,
remind me which event that was again.
Inferno was when basically it was led up to Madeline Pryor, who was basically Jean Grey's clone.
Okay.
She slowly realizes that she's been a clone this whole time. Meanwhile, there's these demons that are trying to use magic, Ileana Rasputin, to like open up this portal and create this portal from hell.
Okay, now I remember.
Exactly. And like it's a very slow build, and it literally takes years of very careful, systematic plot devices that are laid out very carefully by Chris Claremont and the Simonsons, and it pays off in a really cool, beautiful way. And you can't do that. Even something as simple as like the Dark Phoenix saga, you can't do that in a 2.5 hour movie and have it feel organic. Like,
yeah, I could see that. You could do that in 5 seasons, though.
You could do that in 2 seasons. You can even do that in a full season. I think. You could.
I mean, I think some British style television programming with the X-Men in it would kill the game.
Oh, completely.
Yeah.
And
I
think Legion is
It
is great. If you haven't seen it, I only watched the first 3 episodes, and it's mind-bogglingly insane.
It makes me very happy because they did a lot of cool, new, interesting stuff. I don't want to spoil anything, but like Aubrey Plaza deserves an Emmy for what she did in that show.
Yeah, she's killing it.
She really does. You can tell she has so much fun doing that show.
It's awesome.
Yeah, I really dug it.
Well, so as far as so she's your greatest of all time.
Yes.
So
Emma Frost. Back to Emma Frost.
Do you think that me and Ron could construct a team to beat her up?
I mean, I don't know. She's an Omega level telepath.
Dude, I know.
I don't know.
That's hard because I was really thinking about it. Like, unless you pick some Jean Grey like psychic, I don't want to say psychic. I hate when people say psychic.
No. I know
what
they
mean telepathic. Yeah. That's one of my pet peeves.
I think that you would definitely need a psychic on the team. Definitely of like the Jean Grey or Shadow King level.
Now wait, correct me if I'm wrong. She can't use her telepathic powers when she does her secondary. This is the nerdiest sentence.
It's true.
Okay, she can't use her telepathic powers when she engages her secondary mutation of turning into a living diamond. Correct.
Yeah, her telepathy is turned off, but she's also unreadable when she's in that form. So
like, what about her versus Magneto?
Oh my God, X-Men First Class made me so fucking mad with that shit. When he wraps a brass pole around her neck and that shit cracks. Yeah. Like that.
That was the dumbest. That was the dumbest shit in the world.
Brass is not gonna be breaking a diamond.
Oh yeah. Here's some inside tea. I was when X-Men First Class was coming out. I was working at I don't want to say the name of the channel, but I was working on a channel that dealt a lot with entertainment stuff, and I had to watch a lot of raw press junket interviews, and one of them was from January Jones talking about X-Men First Class, and she talked about it like this. Well, I play Emma Frost, and she is a psychic who has the ability to turn into a diamond, which, as we all know, is a girl's best friend.
Oh, no.
And unfortunately, they are also vulnerable to magnetism. And I swear to God, I wanted to get up and just go like,
vulnerable to magnetism.
I wanted to slam my head against How stupid can you be, January Jones? I know. I hope she hears this. I know you said that. I know you said that at a press test junket, January. I swear to God.
I'm sure somebody watched that and was like, let's not air that. Can we not air that, please?
We can't air that. Diamonds are vulnerable. You know how when you get home and
also, the Earth is flat. I just wanted you guys to know.
It's like, I don't want to lose my wedding ring, so I'm going to stick it on the fridge. Fuck? You fucking dumb bitch. I hate you. I'm glad they made you fat and Mad Men. This is my nerd rage coming out.
Nerd, that's why we invited you on, because you're much like myself, a nerd Hulk. But one thing, so basically, Omega level.
So yeah, she's an Omega level telepath. She can't use her powers when she's in her diamond form. But in Grant Morrison's new X-Men, she was shattered. Because if you shoot her with a diamond-tipped bullet directly at her flaw in point-blank range, she will shatter. And that was a big story point in Grant Morrison's new X-Men. Is like, who shot Emma Frost? And
wait, but she was a bunch of pieces for a bunch of issues?
Literally, she was a bunch of pieces, and there's a great panel of Beast having every piece laid out in front of him, and he's basically putting her back together like the most complicated jigsaw puzzle in the world.
Wow.
And then eventually Jean Grey...
Also, that means Beast touched all of her titties.
Touch the titties. Is this the titty? I don't know. Is this the titty piece?
Can she
this
fuck?
looks like a
What's
titty
her
piece.
pussy like during that?
God damn it!
Sorry, I'm disgusting.
I don't know. I'm kind of curious about what her what sex would be like.
Who can finger blast her while she's a diamond? Only the Hulk.
Hulk finger blast Emma. Oh dear.
I don't even think he can.
I don't think he could.
That's some Omega level cooch right there.
This is the most expensive cooch.
Well, I don't think I can.
Only that guy everybody hates, Hyperion. What is his name?
Well, dude, but diamond characters piss me off since forever, because I remember that flaw thing.
Mm-hmm.
That flaw thing. One of my favorite characters is Karnak, who can see like the flaw in anything and break it. He can even like make sounds to break stuff. If like the thing is attacking him as sound, he can make the sound that breaks it. Whatever.
Oh, okay.
But they kind of gave Daredevil something like that. The Absorbing Man. Villain who could touch anything and become that thing. He touches concrete, he becomes concrete. He touches water, he becomes water. He touched a diamond and just went shit-bat crazy through Hell's Kitchen smashing shit. And Daredevil was the only dude there. Now, Absorbing Man has fought Thor by himself. Mm-hmm. He's fought the Avengers by himself. Yeah. He's fought everybody by himself. He's a bad dude. And Daredevil beat him he did some dumb shit and hit his flaw and cracked him. And I was like, there's no way.
There's no way.
There's zero way that this could ever happen. And this is comics.
Yeah.
I'm sitting here with man boobs reading this thing on the toilet. You know what I mean? I'm not asking for high art.
Do you have man boobs?
I'm not asking for high art. You know what I mean? That's all I'm saying. I'm not asking for high art.
Just a little scientific
come
congruency.
On, dude. A white boy ninja can't break a diamond with his stick.
No
matter what.
I mean, unless it too was a diamond tipped and applied with the right amount of force. That's why diamond bullet, point blank range, boom,
and
in a specific flaw.
In a specific flaw, which is right here in the center of her head. That's
which requires pre-knowledge.
And she still didn't die, though, right?
She still didn't die.
Now
Jean
that
Grey
is a badass bitch.
Yeah, well, Jean Grey, because she's the Phoenix, Jean Grey put her back together, and the first thing that Emma said when she came back together was Esme, and that's the name of one of her proteges, the Stepford Cuckoos. One of them went insane because there was this really cool
twins, right?
Actually,
they were triplets.
They were quadruplets for a while.
I remember.
And then several of them died, and now there's 3 of them, I believe. And it's revealed in Phoenix War Song that they're actually kind of like proto-clones of Emma. Yeah, and they operate as like one mind. So like together,
which harkens back to her having her sisters and then being sort of a symbiotic organism, and she leaves her dad. Okay,
yeah, it's cool. It's cute,
psychology.
It's pretty neat. I like it. But there's like, I mean, also, where was I going to go with this? Oh my God, I'm like Emma Frosted.
Stepford Cuckoos.
Stepford Cuckoos. Yeah. It was one of there was a drug called Kick, and it was like an inhaler, and if you were a mutant, it gave you a high and enhanced your powers greatly. Yep. And it's what caused the faux Magneto to go crazy. Turns out it was also the Sublime bacteria.
The X-Men universe is rife with germs.
It's true.
There's the legacy virus, the Sublime shit, whatever. The warlock, the techno-organic thing is technically it's technically a contagion.
Yeah,
it's like, dude, like they want to give the X-Men AIDS. Like,
well, that's what the legacy virus was.
It was mutant AIDS. Yeah, absolutely.
But you know what's funny? I read a panel. Maybe it's been rescinded, but there is a panel that specifically stated mutants can't get actual AIDS. Like regular people AIDS.
Oh, I think I remember this
Mutants
panel.
can't get it. And I'm just like, well, one thing is affirmative action. No, you don't get AIDS. You don't get AIDS. Good one on you.
You get the legacy virus, though.
Right, which is 100 times worse. But so basically, okay, I don't know. You would have to pick really high-level characters to beat Emma. I think she is a candidate.
Yeah, because if the Hulk doesn't have his empathy, if he can't block.
The Hulk probably is like a Control-Alt-Delete for this entire argument, because, the Hulk probably could.
But see, and I want to get off on a rant here, but that's the reason why Marvel is the greatest, is because the Hulk is me being a Marvel zombie, the Hulk is our ultimate nullifier answer. Yeah. And realistically, if we're going to be real about stuff, Superman would destroy him instantaneously. He would throw him into the sun or get him away from him real quick or bombard him from really far away and not let him jump up and grab him.
Through space.
Yeah, throw him into space. He could do so many things so quickly that there's no answer for somebody. And Superman is like the 5th or 6th or 8th or 10th most powerful person in the DC universe. Yeah. So all I'm saying is Hulk is our ultimate guy, and he'd get ruined by a lamer from DC universe. But I think that's what makes Marvel so sick, is that it's more of a human level. Even completely. The gods of Marvel are more of a human level. Like the Norse mythology, the gods even died.
I think you could make an argument that if Bruce Banner was still part. If we're talking Bruce Banner Hulk instead of Choi.
He could figure out some stuff. Yeah.
But if it's Bruce Banner Hulk, then she could just calm him down.
Yeah, I mean,
with telepathy, right?
Or a diamond hand job, whatever.
A diamond hand job. I think
Hulk can really feel this for once. I know. Normally I have to fuck bricks.
You're so fucking pile of bricks. That's why me like fighting the Thing so much.
Oh shit! The Thing is like, I don't want to fight the Hulk anymore.
It's like a pile of bricks that fucks back.
It's like fucking Sue Storm is like, no, Ben, go fight him, and he's like, no, never again. Why are you, Ben? Ever since you fought the Hulk, you've been so weird. What happened? Nothing happened.
It definitely wasn't clobbering time.
It wasn't clobbering. My ass got clobbered. But now secretly Ben can only get fucked. That's the only way he can get off now.
Dude.
He has a complicated relationship with his rape.
Dude, okay, so I think we know who we pick. Okay.
I think that a good way to take down Emma, to be honest, would be I mean, you're thinking in terms of powers. I think a good way to go after Emma would be going after her like on a personal level, because like when you're thinking about because like Danger was an element that was introduced by Joss Whedon. Danger was when the Danger Room in the X-Men mansion became sentient and started going after the X-Men. And if you think about it, that's like a perfect way of
right.
And the Danger Room had no psyche for her to manipulate, and also it knew about her flaw. But Emma was still going to be like, you're not coming after Scott. But it was basically, it just had to like whisper a word to her, and she basically just kind of stopped. And then she was like, if you're going to kill anyone, you can kill me.
What was it? It was like a trigger. That trigger thing.
I think it was like something about the lines of like, I know your secret. Like I know because at that point, Cassandra Nova was still. I think that Cassandra Nova still had some kind of like retro program inside.
Okay. So you could technically, if you were a powerful enough telepath, technically you could implant something inside of her mind to have you have control over her later. But that's another thing about I gotta go back to DC bashing for 1 second so we can get some mail. That's what I want. I want to get some mail. But basically, Emma Frost being able to get inside somebody's mind, or somebody a mega level telepath, or a machine that's watched you practice for 20 years, has about as much information as Batman does.
Yeah.
Oh, completely. Like this dude who sits in his house, like drinking tea and eating peanut butter sandwiches with the crust cut off.
Yeah.
Is so smart. He knows everything about everybody. He has a dossier on everybody. It's like even your weak, regular, street character is a god in DC. He's Bat God. He can do anything. Which is why when we have a person on here who says Batman is the greatest,
oh god,
I might rip into them.
All right, well, it's going to happen for sure. It's going to happen for sure.
It's the superpower of white privilege. I don't need that shit.
But the new carrier of it, I think, is Iron Fist. Iron Fist is on a plane going to China with his billionaire parents, crashes near a kung fu village, an interdimensional kung fu village, wanders into the magical interdimensional kung fu village, learns kung fu forever, comes back to America to a billionaire fortune. They say his power is to load his fist with chi and he can punch everything. He loads his fist with white privilege. It beats the shit out of everything.
To this day,
and whines the whole time from the if you're gonna look at the TV show.
That was such a.
The comic book is way better, by the way.
I bet it is. I've never gotten into it, but like that was a garbage show. Like that was a garbage TV show.
Yeah, it was a bummer too because I was excited because I liked Luke Cage and I liked Daredevil and I loved Jessica Jones.
Jessica Jones is the best.
Jessica Jones is by far the best, but I think part of that is because of how good that bad guy is.
Oh, David Tennant and the Purple Man.
But not only, but the idea of because that's a terrifying idea.
Oh, completely.
To think about like you can punch through a wall. But if this guy says 2 words to you, you can't do shit.
I mean, but that's the power of telepaths in general. That's why I think Emma is so strong or whatever. This is a good candidate because, like, if she can do that to you, and then if you're so strong of mind that you want to fight still, she turns into a diamond and beats your ass.
Oh, totally.
So,
and has anyone talked about how strong she is as a diamond?
It varies from writer to writer. There are times where I believe in Joss Whedon's run she didn't have super strength, but there are a few panels in Grant Morrison's run that do suggest that she's got some kind of super strength. She's like ripping wiring out of Sentinels and shit. So yeah, I think that there's some enhanced strength to it, but for the most part, it's just like she's just super duper durable. So yeah,
cool.
But yeah, I was thinking about the Purple Man the other day. Like that is like it. Such an awesome, interesting character as far as like that one time where you actually felt bad for him, like that because you hate him for so long, and then eventually you feel bad for him. That was just the weirdest thing. I hated that show a little bit for that.
I mean, yeah. Anytime you have,
sort of feel bad for him. Look. I'll tell you why I don't feel bad for him. I had. Maybe not quite as shitty as a life as his. And I have never wanted to control anybody or be a dick to them for the most part. In fact, it made me go, hey, how about I not do all of this shit?
Yeah.
Well, no, I did a show about who would be the best wingman. We had a big grand Guggenheim nerd argument about who would be the best wingman. And I proposed that it would be Kit from Knight Rider. Because he would feed you through your watch all the dope stuff about like she graduated high school at whatever, she was a javelin thrower. You're like, yeah, man, sometimes I just want to throw a spear really far. It's like, oh snap, me too, or whatever, right. And then when you get too faded, you're like, oh man, I feel kind of drunk and tired and stuff. Can you take me home? It's like, yeah, I feel kind of faded too, but my car could drive us home. And then you told Perfect Gentleman, and then everything could be cool, right? Dudes on the internet wrote in, that's stupid. All you guys picked for wingman are stupid. You should pick Purple Man.
No.
Because he could literally make the chick just go home with you. I'm like, that's where your mind went first. Yeah.
Oh, so rape.
Yeah. Your mind went to the...
Because
that's dude. I just want women to do whatever I say so I don't have to try hard.
And I love that they made that point over and over again. Like, no, you raped me. Yeah. You raped, what you did was rape. Like, and that, oh God, it's so good.
All right, to get back to it though.
Yes.
Why do you think Emma Frost is the best? Okay. Just in 4 or 5 sentences.
Why do I think Emma Frost is the best? Because she is brazenly human. When she's written well, Grant Morrison and Joss Whedon and Chris Claremont, she's brazenly human. She walks the line between good and evil, but she always kind of does the good thing in the end. You can tell that she has had a hard past, and she, in some ways, is trying to make up for it. But she still can't help but be a pragmatist. And as a gay man in Trump's America right now, I think of one of the most relevant panels, which is in Joss Whedon's Astonishing X-Men, which was when she was the headmistress of the Xavier Institute for a while. And there was a part where, actually there's 2 things I want to bring up. When there's a part where they create a hologram of a sentinel ripping off the roof of the school, and all of the students freak out and whatnot, and then she snaps her fingers and it's revealed that it was a simulation, and she goes, "Now what have we learned here? We've learned that they will always hate us." Yeah, and that there's something to that where I'm like, I get that, because if I feel like as a gay person in Trump's America, like I can't let that guard down anymore.
Yeah.
And in a way, like Emma has to be, I don't want to say like a mascot, but like I want to emulate that strongness and that idea of like, there's not going to be a day where a magic wand gets waved and they suddenly love us.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
And the other thing that I love about Emma in terms of her relationship with the Marvel Universe and mutants' relationship with the Marvel Universe, it comes from a scene that happened in Civil War when Tony Stark came to the Xavier Institute and basically said, you mutants need to pick a side. And Emma telepathically shows him a picture of Genosha destroyed. And she's like, where were the Avengers when Genosha died? Where were you when our babies were burning? And she's like, we're going to sit here on our reservation and see how it plays out. But, you know, if mutants want to join either side, that's on them. But we're not going anywhere. And that was something that really got to me, because one of the things that classic X-Men did so right is that the X-Men were so segregated from the rest of the superhero universe. And the rest of the superhero world did jack shit to help mutants.
Yeah.
Jack shit. When was the last time that you saw Iron Man take down a Sentinel that was going after some mutant baby?
Never.
Never. You never saw that.
It's never happened.
It never happened. And for the most part, I mean, there were a lot of publication reasons why, but it makes total sense why that would happen and why it was basically the X-Men looking out for themselves. And I think that Emma, in essence, represents that idea of like, you need to take care of yourselves first and foremost, because no one is going to take care of you for you.
Well, I think that is a pretty awesome way to wrap it up.
That's my favorite.
That is great. And I just want to say this at the end here. That's why I like comic books, by the way. I love the idea that people think that this is some kid medium that has no meaning or anything like that. But when it comes down to it, they speak to you in ways that no one would ever expect you to be spoken to.
Totally.
So, I appreciate that.
I just got a little chills.
Yeah,
got chills
me too.
from that.
It makes me feel great. It's one of the reasons I get all choked up and love comic books so much.
Me too.
Yeah, I mean, to make adventure stories have real meaning to people, I think that's what they're for.
Yeah,
so
absolutely.
thank you, Kyle.
Oh, thanks.
All right.
So if you want to hit us up with questions, community, and complaints, comments and complaints, you can hit us at nerdgoatpodcast@gmail.com or on our Facebook page or on our Twitter. I'm Ron Swallow, or Dorky Swallow on Twitter. You put up Ron Swallow in anything, Instagram. Hey, if you want to follow me on Snapchat, sure, why not?
On all social media, I am Ed Greer Destroys. So just put Ed Greer Destroys in there, you'll find me. How about you, Kyle?
I'm at Kyle Shire on all social media, Instagram and Twitter and Facebook. So Kyle Shire, S-H-I-R-E, like The Hobbit. Yes, I am 5 hobbits and a man suit.
Also, guys, please subscribe on iTunes and comment and rate us. That really helps us to rise up the charts, as we hope to do. Also, share this with your friends. You like this, share it with somebody else so they can like it too.
Yeah, let's make this a nerd empire, guys.
Yeah. You guys know you have opinions.
Yeah,
Give us your angry nerd opinions.
Yeah,
your
tweet at us.
sweaty,
Tell us-
musky nerd opinions.
Oh yeah, the best stuff we'll read on air.
Absolutely.
The
Tell us
best
who your
stuff
nerd
we'll
goat
read on
is.
air.
And if you have some complaints about Emma Frost, we'd love to hear them. and or some compliments about
Maybe
Emma
later
Frost.
we'll
Let
have
us know.
rejoinder episodes. We'll read a bunch of mean tweets about your
Yeah.
episode. I feel like that gay rant you went on at the end was too much.
Yeah.
Oh boy,
And
here
then
we
we
go.
can-
Why do you have to make everything so fruity? God damn it. Not everything has to be gay. Fuck you, not everything has to be straight. Go to hell. Neckbeard motherfucker. I don't need your shit.
I can't wait to make fun of those people.
I know.
But anyway, thank you guys so much. This has been Nerd Goat.
Well, that was a classic Nerd Goat episode. If you had a good time, please rate, review, subscribe, push the like button, do all the stuffs that you do to support the things you like. Thanks. We'll see you next time.